Hi guys, it's Cash, and in today's video I'm going to show you some cool ways that you can use Stasis. We're going to go through 3 combos, what not to do, and just a few other evoker tips that I've picked up since my last video, so make sure you stick around for all of that. Okay, so first off, you've got your classic cooldown combo. Most people know this one already, but I still think it's worth covering. So you start by pressing Stasis, then Embrace, and Call of Ysera will buff our next Dream Breath by 40%. Dream Breath, usually at rank 1, and then tip the scales into Spirit Bloom. And here in the palm of your hand, you hold a pretty epic healing combo. Doing it this way is the most effective order for the classic cooldown combo. I think fully empowering the Dream Breath might be a bit overkill when it's followed by a Spirit Bloom, and not fully empowering the Spirit Bloom is a bit of a waste. In saying that though, using tip the scales isn't mandatory either, so if you've got time to fully charge it, go for it. And so you've got this pretty cool healing combo, and if you think about how to upgrade it, it's actually... Hi! Hello! Yeah. Oh! You guys want to meet Tinkerbell? Hi! You gonna sit over here? God.
A few moments later.
So you've got a pretty good healing combo ready to go, but there is a way to upgrade this, and it's actually pretty simple. So before you release Stasis, just adding a couple of echoes or a temporal anomaly, which with the Resonating Spheres talent applies a bunch of baby echoes. When you release Stasis, your Verdant Embrace will first apply Lifebind to your original target, as well as everyone with an echo. And as you know, we call this a group hug, and I am going to show you the difference. So what I'm going to show you here is the classic cooldown combo. So here you hit Stasis, Verdant Embrace, Dream Breath at rank 1, and then tip the scales into Spirit Bloom. I'm also going to pull up the healing meters in a sec once everything ticks down so we can see what the overall healing would be. First up, have a look at Lifebind. It's about 31,000, and once everything ticks down, we can see what I healed for overall. So this combo overall heals for about 837,000. When you release Stasis, you would expect that it would heal again for about 837,000. So what I'm going to do is clear the healing meters, apply the echoes, and show you the difference. So I apply echo to target 1, echo to target 2, echo to target 3, and release Stasis. And when I do this, the Verdant Embrace will Lifebind everybody with the echo. And we'll have a look at the healing meters, and you'll be able to see the massive difference. So straight up, you can see that Lifebind has healed for about 205,000, which is way more than before. And once everything stops ticking down, we'll be able to see what this combo does. So when you apply the echoes, this combo heals for over 1.1 million instead of the, 830 something before. So by applying echoes before releasing your Stasis, there is such a big difference between creating this combo and releasing this combo. So the next combo is the Stasis Mass Dispel, and I'm going to give you some examples of when to best use this to make your life a little bit easier and just show you a little bit of gameplay. If you've watched my previous guides, then you may have already seen this, but I've still had a lot of people asking about it, so here it is again. So how does an evoker mass dispel? Well, when you cast Expunge, which is your magic dispel, onto a party member and they don't have anything to dispel, it doesn't go on cooldown. So therefore you can press Stasis, expunge party member 1, expunge party member 2, expunge party member 3, and when you release Stasis, the people you cast it on will be dispelled. Let me show you. So this one's pretty straightforward. You just pop Stasis and then you put Dispel on person number 1, person number 2, and person number 3. And you'll see here that I've got 3 Dispels stored in my Stasis, and when I release it, it will dispel the people that I was targeting originally. So here we go. And it's still not on cooldown, so I can actually dispel a 4th person as well. Very easy, very cool. One of my favorite times to use this is on Patrol Captain Garuda, the first boss of Court of Stars. You can quickly pop 3 dispels into your Stasis and then dispel the Arcane Lockdown, allowing your DPS, especially your casters, to just do their thing. You can also use it in Court of Stars for the packs with the Mana Sabers in them. The Mana Fang dart ticks pretty hard, and when 2 or 3 leap at the same time, it can just be a bit of a disaster. So I've gotten in the habit of storing 3 dispels in Stasis before we pull them, just in case. And of course you can use this on bursting, but it is tricky. I was practicing this the other week, but you have to make sure that it doesn't go on cooldown before you put 3 into your Stasis, so you do need to time it quite carefully. And just in case you didn't watch my previous guide, which I highly recommend, you can also use Stasis to store Cauterizing Flame, which is a huge advantage because you can mass dispel any bleed, poison, curse, or disease, not just magic debuffs. It works in exactly the same way. It's insanely useful on the Overgrown Ancient boss in Algathar Academy. You can use it to dispel the Splinterbark bleed before the Ancient Branch dies. And finally, this is a combo that I have been working on that I call the Hello Hots combo because you get so many hots. This one does take a little work to prepare for, but I'll show you some gameplay after I explain it so you can see where it might be useful. Basically, any scenario with heavy AoE damage or where you also need to move or perhaps help out with DPS instead of spamming heals. So with this one, we're using Stasis to store echoes instead of abilities. So the first thing you need to do is get ideally 2 procs of Essence Burst, but it is doable with 1 if you think your tank will be okay. So we're spamming Living Flame, and once you have 1 or 2 Essence Bursts, we're going to Stasis, Echo Person 1, Echo Person 2, Echo Person 3, and this here is your Stasis, and if that's all you can manage, then great, but if you've got at least 1 Essence Burst proc, keep going, and Echo Person 4 and Echo Person 5. So everyone has Echo now, and we're going to pop Reversion on Person 1, and then use the second charge on Person 2. Then Vernon Embrace for the Call of Ysera buff, release Stasis, so the 3 echoes go out on Person 1, 2, and 3, and then Dream Breath at rank 1. So it looks like a lot of work, and what have we done? Well, we've gone Druid. We've blanketed our whole group in hots. With the initial round of echoes, we gave everyone at least 1 reversion hot, and some people got 2. And so when we release the echoes stored in Stasis and then Dream Breath, we are giving everyone another hot, and the 3 people who had the echoes stored in the Stasis would get double the Dream Breath hot. So let me show you. I just want to let you know that in this demo, I actually cast Echo before Stasis. That's just a habit I got into because sometimes I worry that my Essence procs will run out, but it doesn't really matter what order you do it in. As long as you store 3 echoes in your Stasis, this combo is going to work. So I just spend a moment fishing until I get an Essence proc. And once I do, I echo party number 1, Stasis, Echo 2, Echo 3, Echo 4, and you can see that I have enough essence left over that I can actually echo person number 5, so I can get everyone here. Reversion 1, Reversion 2, Vernon Embrace on myself, release the Stasis, and again, I have enough essence that I can echo someone again, so Dream Breath at rank 1, hello hots. Look at them go. Now, unfortunately, I can't show you the healing meters because Golden Hour procs like crazy on the training dummies. You just have to take my word for it that it's a cool combo. It looks cool, right? So there is some nuance to using the Hello Hots combo, but I recommend you just get comfortable with it first. Get comfortable with preparing for it by getting your Essence Burst procs, get comfortable with the order of the abilities because it is super easy to figure that Vernon Embrace in the middle, and start thinking about when to best use the combo before you get too stressed about the minor details. However, if you love the details, then here's a quick rundown of what I've learned from experience. Firstly, the first 3 echoes are important. Keep in mind that when we release the Stasis later, only 3 people will get the echoes, so I recommend prioritizing your range DPS first in case they miss the Dream Breath entirely, and then maybe your squishiest person or perhaps even yourself. And the reason I suggest this is because of mastery. We should use our mastery to our advantage. If we have a higher percent of health than our allies, we get a significant buff to our healing, so it is best that you try to stay healthy, and that is why I give myself the double reversion. I usually give myself the first reversion hot, and then I consider who gets the second one. Sometimes it's the person who won't be getting the echo that's stored in the Stasis, or if someone is particularly low and could benefit from Golden Hour. Next, I want to quickly cover what you can't store in Stasis. This can be helpful if you are midway through putting together a combo and you need to assist someone and you don't want to mess up your Stasis. As always, if you want to see what I'm casting, it shows you in the bottom right hand corner next to the damage and healing meters. So let's pop Stasis and see what you can and can't store in there. So things like Zephyr, they can't be stored in there, and I think that makes sense because that's a pretty big cooldown. Time Dilation is another one, that's your external. It'd be very cool if that that could go into Stasis, but unfortunately not. Emerald Communion, also a really big cooldown, cannot be stored in your Stasis. Living Flame can unfortunately be stored in Stasis, which means you really need to be fishing for your essence procs before you press Stasis. And it also means that you want to be DPSing not while your Stasis is midway through being active. And the last thing that you can't put into Stasis is Renewing Blaze. So that's great if you need to self-heal or pop it defensive that won't go into your Stasis. You can pop that on yourself and then finish putting your combo together. Something I realized while I was testing is that Emerald Blossom can be stored in Stasis, which is kind of cool because it costs so much essence. I was playing around with an Echo and Emerald build combo, but it didn't feel as strong. But by any means, if you love to use Emerald Blossom in keys or even in raid and you play with Stasis, you can put it into Stasis, and it does also interact with Echo, which is something I realized while I was testing. So over here I was just mucking around, I popped a couple of Echoes, ran very far away from my targets, and put an Emerald Blossom on myself, and you can see the little heal go off over there. So that works. Very cool actually, not something I realized, but I still don't think I will personally be using Emerald Blossom a load in keys. I have been playing around with a new build that utilizes Empath and Spirit Bloom to help with this very essence heavy build that I have been using. I'll put some gameplay together, keep testing it out, but I think that's something that I'm going to release next. So in saying that, if you've got any cool ideas for Stasis combos, I would love to see them in the comments. I do try my best to respond to everyone, so if you want to keep in touch, make sure you turn notifications on. I've also had some lovely feedback, some really good ideas for my next videos, and loads of encouragement, which I am just insanely grateful for. This actually made me think that maybe I should close things out with a bit of like housekeeping, just a chance to respond to some comments in more detail, update you on what I'm doing next, and maybe if you want to get to know me more, find out what I'm up to. So first bit of housekeeping, a lot of people have been asking me about my UI and my WeCores. I'm not super excited to do a whole video on my interface. I'd much rather release some gameplay and dungeon guides. So for now, I'm just going to add some links below in the description to my WeCores that I use. I've numbered them here on the screen so you can see what's what, and hopefully that helps. As for my UI, I actually copied it from Stoneface TV. He is an amazing, amazing M+ player, and I don't want to take credit for all of his creative work. I also truly hate troubleshooting interface issues, and I'm always tweaking mine and breaking it, so for that reason I'm also reluctant to share profiles. I am tossing up what to release next, so I might do a community poll and see what you guys want to see, M+ gameplay, raid talents and strategies, or specific dungeon guides. And a little update on me. If you've watched my videos before, it may be obvious, but I spent some time updating my room setup. I got this massive poster as a gift, and I freaking love it. As always, thank you again so much for watching, and I promise to bring something out for you again soon. Bye! Did I record any of that? Hey guys, this is Late Night Cash, and I'm here because I forgot to give you my add-ons. So if you're still watching, you'll get to see me die and then redeem myself, and I'll post some extra special bonus footage for you as well. If you do end up watching until the end, drop the lyrics of the song in the comments to confuse everyone who bailed early. So add-on number 1 is the raid ability timer, and it is great. It only works if you also have bigwigs or DBM installed as well, and it works for both raid and dungeon bosses. I don't use the Scarlet adaptation tracker to my advantage currently, but later when I have 4 set, I don't even have 2 set yet, and I'm 7 out of 8 on heroic, but one day this will be very, very helpful. Second is the Stasis add-on. This one is a bit buggy though, and if it doesn't get updated soon, then I'll be looking for a new one. I recently added this Echo tracker as well, more for raid than keys, but it is still helpful. And finally, these are ZenTrackers. I'm not going to link them though because they are no longer being supported, but if you want to look them up and play around with them, it's ZenTracker main, interrupt tracker, and party cooldowns. I love this add-on for hover. It does make a sound when hover is about to run out, so I can stop moving, and I really like the animation. And now, something special for those of you still watching.
Marked by lightning. Tell me more. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why.
I never wanna hear you say
I want it that way. Now that we never falling apart. The dream that we used to be. Yeah.
No matter the distance, I want you to know that deep down inside I
You
feel
are my
fire.
fire.
Yeah, Shep.
I love how it's laced with the
It's a win.
fire.